Hi. Today I'll show you how to set up Lunacal if you're an agency. You can essentially use Lunacal for multiple clients of yours. You can set up separate workspaces for each of them and manage the entire setup from your own login credentials. And each of those clients would also have their own admin user name and password so that they can log in and they can view your bookings or assign team members within their own teams, right? And the clients would not be able to see each other, so it sort of maintains the entire privacy thing between your clients. Now, if you're an agency, you can use Lunacal for any B2B kind of a setup. Think of a software company or your own business or any other agency. So you can set up like scheduling for their use case, or you can set it up for any service-based business, right? So from lawyers, consultants, realtors, to fitness centers, yoga studios, to hospitals, clinics, uh, pet care centers. Like in every case where there is a booking involved, that's where you can set it up, either for an individual or for the entire company, right? And it has the entire payment flow, so you can sort of handle the end-to-end booking here. Now, I'll share my screen. This is how the backend of Lunacal looks like, and this, for example, is a typical booking page. In fact, here's a preview of it, where you have multiple events. This is, for example, for a wealth management company, where the clients can sort of look at the event that they want to book, select a particular service, select a particular professional, then they can provide details and book time, right? Or the professional can just share their own individual calendar so clients can book, or you can also share specific events. So for example, if I just want to share an investment review, then this is the kind of page that I'll share with clients, right? And this can either be on Lunacal's own scheduling page, or you can embed it in your own website as well, right? Now, if I go to the backend, this is how it looks like, and this is where you'll set everything up. The first thing that you need to do is go here and create a new team, right? So these are sort of workspaces or teams. Each workspace can be used either as an individual client. So let's say if I have 4 clients, I'll probably create 4 different workspaces here. Or it can also be used if I want to separate different teams within a company, right? So let's say if I'm a SaaS company, I have a marketing team, sales team, recruitment team, then I can create different workspaces for each of them so that the sales team can just look at their own workspace, the marketing team can just look at their own workspace, and so on, right? Right now, let's assume this is one of the clients, and I'm setting up Lunacal for them. So here you'll see the navigation where you can look at different events. Events are sort of services or calendars, which are individual entities that can be booked by clients. Then you can view all the bookings here, all the upcoming and past bookings for this client. You can view all the team members that are there, and you can also add new team members here. So for example, if I'm setting it up for this wealth management company, the client says that I have 20 different wealth managers. I can invite all of them and configure them here, right? And tomorrow, let's say they want to add 2 more people, I can go to new team member, add them, and assign them to specific events, right? You can view all the booking pages of individuals here. And if you want, you can also embed them to the website from here, right? Now, this is also the place where if let's say your client has a physical center where the receptionist sits, so they can be one of the admins, and then they can also look at all of these so that if someone calls, they want to share someone's page immediately, they can open it up from here, right? The next is routing forms, which is a slightly complicated topic, which we'll discuss at the end. And then you have team settings where you can set up the name of the team, URL, time zone, add SEO things like meta title description, and all of these things, right? Now, we'll start with event types. Now, think of an event type as either a service. So, for example, let's say if you're a hospital, right? Then cardiology consultation can be one of the event types, right? Or let's say in case of a B2B kind of a setup, these are like events, for example, a round robin sales event where leads get assigned to different people. That will be one event, right? In fact, let me create one event and show you how to do it. So whenever you create an event, it gives you three options. First is you can create a one-on-one event. You can create a round robin event. In round robin event, what happens is the lead who's filling up, who's scheduling time, they do not really select a particular member. They book time, and then in a round robin fashion, someone from the other end would get assigned to them. So think of leads who are coming to website. They don't know which salesperson they want to talk to. They just want to randomly get allocated to a salesperson, right? And then a collective event is one where only when everyone in the team is available, those are the time slots that are shown, right? In most cases, you'll end up using a one-to-one event. So I'll start by creating this event. I'll give it a title, let's say financial consultation. This is the slug that you can change, and you can specify duration here, which can be edited later as well, right? So now what I'll do is I'll have to assign team members here. Let's say I want this event to be for these 4 team members, and then I click on finish, right? Now this event is created. The first thing that I can do here is I can change the duration. If I want, I can make it into a group booking wherein if think of it like a class where multiple people can book the same time slot. So if there is a fitness class going on, then you would enable a group booking feature where you can have 5 people who book the same class together, right? Or you can create multi-session package. You can set up availability. It can either be members' own default schedule, wherein whatever schedule that person has set up on their Lunacal gets applied, or you can set it up for them, right? Then you can assign different members from here or remove them if you want. Next thing, you can set permissions, right? So this is where you can allow individual members to override the overall settings if you want. So for example, let's say I have a booking limit where universally I want a 2-hour notice for everyone, right? But let's say it's a fitness class and one of the instructors says that, no, I want a 4-hour notice. In that case, what I can do is I can enable booking limits to be editable by people. And then that instructor can set up their own limits if they want, right? Then you have booking questions. Booking questions are intake form that people can configure. And these are the things that need to be answered when a client is booking time, right? So if you look at the final page here, this one, for example, so whenever someone is booking time here, these are the questions that they need to answer. And this can be configured here. And you can have a variety of fields there, right? It can be a plain text field. It can be a drop down. It can be a checkbox. You can even have a consent checkbox, right? If you work in a sensitive industry, for example, healthcare, then you probably would want them to agree to certain terms and conditions, and that's how you can use it. And these booking questions can, again, I can set this up for all the team members, or if I want them to set up on their own, I can allow them in the permissions tab. The next is the payment section. Now, this is the case where if you want to charge for bookings, you can enable it. And both the situations are supported, which means the payment can either be credited directly to your central Stripe or PayPal account, or each member can have their own payment thing set up, right? So everyone can have their own Stripe, and then the payment then goes to their Stripe account, right? And then you can set up workflows here. Workflows are sort of meeting reminders or post-meeting emails that you can configure for everyone, right? So let's say you want a 3-hour notice, a mail to go to both the client and the team member 2 hours before the event is scheduled, and that's something that you can set up here, right? Or let's say after the service is complete, you want to send the thank you email to the client. That's also something that can be configured here, right? So in a particular event, these are largely the settings that can be configured. Okay. Now, how you would probably use is you would either have these individual events and then you can share individual links with clients. So let's say there is a receptionist sitting and someone calls them up, asks them for a booking link. This is the link that they'll share, right? Because they already know what is the service that is needed. Or if you want to showcase everything, right? Then like this is the overall team page is what you would want to share, where the clients, they first select what's the kind of service that they want and then select the professional, right? So in fact, if you're embedding on website, then this is probably what you'd want to do, right? And to embed on website, this is the place to do it. You can either select embed the overall team page or a particular member's booking page or an events booking page, right? Let's say I want to embed the overall team booking page, then this is what comes up. I can change the design, layout, everything from here, right? Depending on like what kind of a view I want to have on the client's website. So it looks really, really beautiful, right? You can have very cool designs that look good on their website. And on the website, this entire flow would be there that someone selects book, then they select professional, and then they select time, right? And you can also view like those different things from here. Okay. Once you're done with this, you can just directly copy the code and paste it. In addition to like this kind of a setup, you can also have a pop-up button, right? In fact, floating pop-up is what I want to show here. Look at this button, right? Where you have this cool button that floats across the website. Anyone can click on it and then the scheduling thing will open, right? And this is something that you can customize according to the industry. So in the widget settings, you can change the colors, you can play around with different things. So depending on what kind of an industry you're in, I can have a different look here. Okay. So yeah, this is how the website embed works. Now the team booking page itself, here also you can do a lot of customizations, right? You can change background depending on what the client wants. You can change themes, play around with a lot of these themes here. Add new widgets on the right hand side. So add text, audio, images, videos, etc. So try to make this into a really beautiful booking page, that something that your client would also really like, right? Now, going at the backend, how it works is every time you invite a team member, it consumes one of your licenses. So depending on how many licenses you have, every time you can keep inviting people. And whenever you remove someone, that license gets freed up, right? So let's say your client has 7 people. One of your clients has 7 people, and it's now consuming 7 licenses from your quota. If they want 2 of them to be replaced with someone else, then that's something that you can do it. And it won't really take additional licenses because it's a replacement. Okay. Also, whenever you invite someone to the team, they'll receive an email and they'll have to sign up. When they sign up, they would get option to connect their calendar meeting tool, etc. Right? And depending on what all permissions you have given them, they can also make additional changes on their own booking page if they want. Right? So yeah, broadly, this is how it works. Feel free to reach out to us if you need any more help in this. Thanks. Bye.